Welcome to Owning Pleasure as a Black Woman, where we celebrate the joy in just being you. I'm Natasha, your certified sex and intimacy coach and clinical sexologist. Just call me your guide to unlocking pleasure. With years of experience in helping individuals embrace pleasure beyond sex, I'm here to empower you to rediscover the beauty of pleasure in every aspect of life. So settle in, relax, and get ready to savor the wisdom and insights we're about to drop. This is your space to be present, learn, and enjoy the show. Hello. Welcome to another episode of Owning Pleasure as a Black Woman. I am so excited to have you here for today's conversation. If you are new here, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate that this is where you want to spend some of your time and your energy. And if you're an OG, welcome back, boo. Hey. So today's conversation is going to be really good. And again, these are just my thoughts. Always remember, these are just my thoughts. I encourage you to have your own thoughts and explore what these topics mean to you and what you want to do with it. Now, before we get into today's topic, I want to remind you to make sure that you stay all the way through to the end of the episode because I have a sneak peek of Owning Pleasure as a Black Woman XXX at the end of the episode for you. Now, don't come for me. I know there are some episodes that I try my best. I am the tech. I am the editor. I am all things. We will be working on that going into 2025 to get some help. And sometimes I forget things. So it's not my heart's desire to forget to put those clips in the end. But this one will have a clip in the end. So stay to the end. Now, let's get into today's episode. So we've all heard the saying, you can't have it all. I'm wondering if that's actually true. And if it's not true, who gets to decide what we have? So this is important for me because I feel like it can stifle us when we're having a conversation with someone talking about our desires and our pleasures and our big dreams. And someone says, how are you going to have all that? You can't have all that. You can't always have what you want. You can't have everything that you want. You cannot have it all. Huh? But why? That's something that I do a lot. And I encourage you to do a lot is ask, But why can't I? And especially for Black women, there's so many people out here who are making the decision of what we can and can't have. And I need that to stop. I want that to stop. And I want you to want it to stop. So we're going to have this conversation, especially for those of us that are high achieving, type A personality, perfectionists, and want to be successful in every area in life. We have to figure out what we want, why we want it, and how we can have everything that we want. Okay, so we're going to discuss what it means to have it all, or what I perceive it means to have it all, how to define sex for. I definitely just said sex, y'all. And I was going to edit it out, but I mean, this is where we're at. This is me. We make mistakes, okay? So how to define success for yourself and why we need to challenge our beliefs around this. That is so funny. I'm so funny. You may not think it's funny, but I think it's funny. Anyway, what does it mean to have it all? In a big, broad sense, having it all basically is defined by the external things, the external factors, the successful career, the graduation, the family, your health, relationships, and blah, blah, blah. And for some people, maybe this is you, material success is having it all. Being like the Joneses, even though I've heard that the Joneses are not doing that well, living like the Joneses, trying to emulate them. So the cars, the big houses, the clothes, the bags, the shoes, the luxury nights out, the luxury trips. And for some, it's internal, right? It's I want peace. I want happiness. I want quiet. I want calm. I want contentment. I want a healed and very well regulated nervous system. That's what it means for them to have it all. However, there is the societal expectation, especially for us Black women, about what it means to have it all. And sometimes that expectation isn't just from society, it's from our own families who have raised us to have it all pertaining to their definition. And that often prioritizes other people's needs and it devalues you. So really sit and take a moment and think about, okay, for everything that I want to have made it, to have it all, are these things that has been placed on my heart by me, by the life that I've lived, by the experiences that I've had? Do I get ooey gooey, juicy, excited in my heart, in my spirit when I think of these things? And if not, it's time for you to question that. If it isn't about you, if everything that having it all leads to is other people, I want you to question that. This episode of Owning Pleasure as a Black Woman is brought to you by Javery Integrative Wellness Services, where holistic healing meets mental wellness. At Javery Integrative Wellness, we understand that life's demands can take a toll on your mind, body, and your spirit. That's why we offer a range of therapeutic services designed to help you reconnect with yourself, reduce stress, and find balance. Whether you're dealing with anxiety, relationship issues, or simply looking to enhance your overall well being, the expert therapists at Javery Integrative Wellness are here to support you. We specialize in creating personalized integrative care plans that cater to your unique needs. Ready to take the first step towards a healthier, happier you? Visit www.javerywellness.com today and schedule your free 15-minute consultation with one of our compassionate therapists. It's time to invest in yourself and start your journey to wellness. That's www.javerywellness.com, your partner in holistic health and healing. Don't wait. Book your free consultation now. This episode of Owning Pleasure as a Black Woman is proudly sponsored by Organic Leaven, your go-to source for all natural, body-safe products that enhance your intimate experiences. At Organic Leaven, they believe that what you put on and in your body matters, which is why they offer a carefully curated selection of organic, eco-friendly products designed to bring pleasure without compromising your health. From luxurious lubricants and body oils to intimate toys and wellness products, Organic Leaven has everything you need to elevate your sensual self-care routine. Each product is crafted with the highest quality ingredients so you can indulge with confidence, knowing you're choosing the best for your body and the environment. As a special offer for our listeners, you can enjoy 10% off your purchase when you use the coupon code JaveryWellness at checkout. Visit www.javerywellness.com/organic-leaven, that's LOVEN, today to explore their full range of products and discover how organic, body-safe options can make a difference in your intimate life. That's www.javerywellness.com/organic-leaven, spelled LOVEN. And don't forget to use the code JaveryWellness for 10% off your order. Take care of your body and let Organic Leaven take care of your pleasure. My having it all has definitely changed over the last couple of years. And I say this in a lot of other episodes, but I think becoming a business owner, mind y'all, your girl has gone back to work, but that's another story for another episode. Being a business owner really shifted my mindset about what it means to have it all. I went from I want to be a millionaire and have big houses and I want this car and these clothes and these bags to I'm okay if I just sat out in the sun. I have it all if my garden is blooming and providing for myself and my family. I have it all if I am able to take a walk. I have it all if I am able to move real slow in the morning and not feel rushed and eat breakfast and take a nap. My priorities as far as how I want my life to be and what I want in it and what I want to experience has definitely changed. I am about balance. That's the Libra in me. I am about financial security, freedom of my time, freedom of my energy, and personal peace, along with connections with those that I love. That to me, to bring it all together, for me, having it all is doing what I want to do when I want to do it at some point. Real, realistically and logically, there are moments where it's like I want to do this thing or have this thing and I can't right now, but I bet you I'm going to get it. I bet you I'm going to do it. It's just not right now, and I'm okay with that. That doesn't mean that I don't have it all. I will have it all. And that's just for me. So I want you to think about your definition. What does having it all mean to you? And it is going to be unique for each person. And I don't want it to be shaped based off of what you heard. When you have a conversation with your friends, your family, coworkers, whoever it is that you're having a conversation with, you as the individual, you as the person that's listening to this, your having it all looks very different from mine, to the next listener, to your parents, to your friends. So don't allow someone else's have it all to deter you from going to get yours. And really, the way that we get to that is to understand what it is that we want. What do you want? I find that that's the hardest question for a lot of my clients to answer. And it's one of the first things we talk about when they come into my space. What do you want? And I'm not going to lie to you. And this is something that you probably do. The wants are so small. The wants don't take up space. The wants are safe. And I want you to not think about being safe. I want you to think about being grand. And being grand doesn't always mean money. It does not always mean money. Sometimes we get so caught up in achieving what we feel like we should want. The graduating from a top school, to going to grad school, to getting the amazing job with the 6-7 figure paycheck and promotions and being the top CEO or business owner, or the perfect family with the perfect kids and all the perfect activities and the perfect grades, and your house is huge with the flashy cars and all of those things, right? All the things that society says it means you made it, means you have it all. And you strive for that without asking, does this really do it for me though? Does this really make me feel at the end of the day when I lay my head down, I'm satisfied? When I wake up in the morning, this is it. This is the life that I prayed for. I want you to get deeper. I want you to explore, what are your desires? What would it look like if you didn't care what anybody thought? If you didn't care how anybody felt about what you did? If even if they got into their feelings, it wouldn't matter. What would that feel like? What would that thing be? What makes you feel alive? What makes you feel orgasmic? What makes you feel juicy? What makes you feel at peace? What is it that you can just sit and you have that goofy smile? Have you ever seen someone just sitting and they're thinking and they're just like, they've got this, it's not a full smile, but it's like a small smile? What puts you into that space? And you may not have the answer today. You may not have the answer tomorrow. And that is absolutely okay. This is going to take time because some of you are in your 30s, 40s, 50s plus, and you have been operating the same way for quite a while. So expect for it to take some time to sift through all the needs and wants and desires of other people to find yours. For me, journaling, meditating, dancing, eating, those are the types of things that have helped me figure out what I want and being unapologetic about it, because I love how it feels. I love how I feel when I honestly, in this present moment right now, I am so good. I am happy. I am content. And sometimes I'm like, how did I get here? And I find myself sabotaging it. But my life is sweet and good. And there are decisions that I had to make to get to this place. And some people may look at my life and say, that's it. That's it. That's all. And I am so good. And I've gotten to a place now where I really have to sit and think, okay, so I wanted that and I got that. What do I want now? Oh, I got that and I have that. Well, what do I want now? And it's constantly a process of affirming myself that I deserve whatever I want and that I can have multiple and that I can have it all. Right? So it's like going to get ice cream. You don't have to choose just one flavor. Legit, if you wanted to go to Baskin Robbins and get all 31 flavors, you could do that. You may not be able to finish it, but you could stuff them hoes in your freezer and eat them when you want to. So I feel like life life is the same. So once you're done listening to this, or even now, if you want to pause and just think this through about what do you want, journal about it, what just makes you feel so good inside. I want you to write about it. I want you to put it down. I want you to start having conversations with those that you trust. I want you to send me an email about it. Let me know what it is. And it's really interesting because I used to buy into the you can't have it all because I was like, of course, that makes sense. But this message about we can't have it all, it comes from a not great place. It comes from people that have never experienced it. And just because they haven't experienced it doesn't mean that it's true. And you think about our lineage, that's the message dated way back, that we can't have anything. So we damn sure can't have it all. But we're in a different place where we don't have to be rooted in survival all of the time. And it takes some time to get out of that. It takes some unlearning. It takes some shifting through the people and support in your life. It takes trying new things. It takes coming out of your comfort zone. But when you start moving past that survival mindset into I'm going to live, into I'm going to thrive, which I have an episode on that about the difference between the three, you understand that you deserve to feel that way all the time. You have to feel it to believe it. And to get to that place, you have to do the things. That's why I'm always telling y'all, you're listening to these episodes, but what are you doing after you stop listening to them? Okay. Your success and security doesn't just have to come from hard work and sacrifice. I am telling you this from real life experience. You don't always have to work hard. You don't always have to sacrifice. Like when does that stop? When do you start making decisions from a place of I just want to? I just like it. I'm just satisfied with it. It just fulfills me so much. Challenge the idea that you have to work hard and sacrifice and still can't have it all. What sense does that make? Why do we always assume that we have to choose between success in this area and failure in another? That doesn't mean that. Now, here's what I do believe. when it comes to balancing your focus, I do believe that you have to put focus in only a few areas. But that doesn't mean that once those areas are good, that you can't continue to be good in those areas and focus on another area that's not doing too good. That's what I believe. So for me, I look at all the areas of my life and I rate them. I use a wheel of life and I determine what has the lowest score. Those three are the ones with the three lowest scores. I'm gonna work on those because everything else is doing good. It may not be doing amazing, but it's doing good. Like I am satisfied in those areas. Is it possible to get all the areas of my life in a 10? I believe so. I believe so. And I want you to believe so. You get to define what balance looks like, what feeling satisfied and fulfilled looks like. That you get to define that for yourself. I have a mentor that I have been watching. She owned a big business that was well known. She sold her business. She moved out of the US and she has it all by her standards. She is happy. She has so much pleasure. She has so much peace. And for her, she has it all. And she's very vocal about it. And I love that about her. And I love that that's an example that I can turn to. And so really what it is, what it could be, I don't want to say what it is for you, but for me, it was the fact that I needed people that I could see doing it, having it all. And it didn't have to match what I had. But I'm like, oh, she's doing all the things. She's having all the things and she's so happy. That's what I want for myself too. And then I had to figure out what I want to get the feeling that that person has. And I feel like social media social media does not help. It really doesn't. Because it feeds us all of these lies. And it makes us question ourselves and it makes us compare ourselves and think that our all isn't good enough. Now, it may not, like I said, you may not be able to have everything at the same time. You have to determine what balance is for you because you can have it all, right? Like if I am an 8-9 when it comes to my relationships and my friendships, and I'm an 8-9 in my money, and I'm an 8-9 in personal development, and I'm an 8-9 in health, and then I'm doing pretty good. And for me, that's pretty much having it all, I think. Also take into consideration where you're at in life. What you think having it all means right now could change in 5 years. It could mean that you're shifting. It can mean that you are pivoting. And so you always need to come back. Find a time slot for you. Maybe it's every 3 months, every quarter, maybe it's every 6 months, maybe it's every year. What do I want? Do I still want the things that I said that I wanted? Am I able to focus on this right now? Am I able to achieve this right now? Like if you know that having it all means that you have the C-suite career with the clients and X, Y, and Z, that's fine. That's absolutely fine. But that may mean that it's not the time for you to be traveling. Because maybe that's not what you want right now. And I think that's where we get it confused when we think about, can I have it all? What do you want to prioritize? Are you willing to put in the work? Not hard work, but are you willing to put in the work to have it here? A lot of times when you ask yourself that question, you're like, no, I'm not. I could care less to put my effort into that right now. That's not what you want, and that's fine. That's absolutely fine. I always sit with my clients, and one of the strategies that we do is, what are your 3 buckets? What buckets do you want to focus on right now? And while everything else is good, or it's just not a priority right now, we find those 3 buckets and we find a goal for each bucket. What do you want it to look like when you've gotten this goal? And a lot of this decision making and balancing and having it all means that your no becomes really high. Because when you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. And a lot of times you're probably saying yes when you don't want to, which means you're saying no to yourself, which means you're saying no to your satisfaction, which means you're saying no to the things that you want. So set those boundaries, say no, make time for pleasure, and identify what success feels like and looks like for you that's more nourishing than it is depleting. Now, I know I've gone through a lot, and it might seem confusing. It's not confusing. Basically, you get to decide what having it all looks like for you. It doesn't have to look like the next person. It's about making decisions that honor your desires, what you want for yourself, not what other people expect for you to have. You get to define what success is for you. You can decide, I'm putting myself first starting today. What I want matters just as much as everyone else that I love. And I don't have to settle. Now, here are some things that you can do to help you see your desire all the time. You can create a vision board. If you're not a vision board person, you can just kind of write out and script what your version of success looks like. Like, what is the day of what does a successful day look like for you? Write it like you're already there. Please, please, please start saying no to things that don't feel good. If it's a maybe, honey, it's a no. And surround yourself around people that are they're going to hype you up. The people that I have in my life, when I tell them things and I feel like, friends and family, when I feel like it might be too big, they're like, go bigger. Well, why don't you do this? Or why don't you have that? Why don't you go for this? If I want something, my friends are there I have created a really good circle. Let me just say that. A really, really good circle. They pour into me, which then allows me to pour into you, whether it's through here, whether it's through events, whether it's through being an actual client, because I've curated that circle that uplifts me, that believes in that I can have it all. And maybe you want an affirmation. Maybe you need a mantra that you get up and you see every day on your mirror, on your reminders on your phone, on your wallpaper, that helps you shape your life. Maybe one like, decide what I want, and I trust that I am worthy of having it, because you are. You really, truly are. So that was our episode today. We are all about having it all, making a definition for ourselves about what success looks like. We're going to stop comparing ourselves to people, knowing damn well we are not even sure if we want to go through what they went through to get what they have. We are no longer holding on to this limiting belief, and we are going to decide what fulfills us. I want you, I beg you, even if you're listening to this episode, you're not, Natasha, I don't believe that. That's fine. Just let that be your choice. Stop listening to society's version of what success is and what having it all is and what being fulfilled is, and start defining it for yourself. That's the only way you're going to live your life. Like, legit live your life is by making the decisions for yourself. Okay, so stick around with me, and I will have you there. I will have you there. I promise. So make sure that you subscribe to this podcast if you are new here, and I would love for you to rate and review so that we can keep this conversation going in a bigger, wider audience. Okay. And if you have any thoughts on what it means to have it all, feel free to shoot me a DM on Instagram. You can email me, or you can just leave a comment and I will make sure to respond. So make sure, I'm going to remind you, do not tap out yet. Continue to listen, because you are going to get a wonderful teaser to Owning Pleasure as a Black Woman XXX. Over there, it's a little bit more risque conversations that I know you want to have, but you ain't trying to have, okay? That's what's going on over there. So that's it for me today, boo. I just want to say I really appreciate you coming over here and hanging out with me time and time again. And understand this: pleasure isn't some extra thing you have to earn. It's something you deserve. It's your birthright. So as you go through your day, as you go through your week, remember, take a deep breath and lean into what feels good for you, and know you don't have to apologize for it. I love you so very much. I appreciate you, and I will talk to you in the next episode. Bye. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Owning Pleasure as a Black Woman. I hope you found today's conversation inspiring and empowering as you continue on your journey to reclaim your pleasure and well-being. Before we wrap up, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your support helps us reach more listeners just like you who are ready to embrace a life of pleasure and self-care. And stick around. Right after this, we've got a sneak peek of our next episode, Owning Pleasure as a Black Woman XXX, on our Patreon page. You won't want to miss it. And until next time, remember to prioritize your pleasure, honor your desires, and continue showing up for yourself. Take care. Okay, I have a crush on a sensual vampire, and it started last year. Last year, I went to a workshop about kink persona, because there's this idea that maybe I'm a little bit kinkier than I think I am. I'm very curious about it. I like to read about it. I like to watch it. What would it be like to be a part of it? So I went to figure out what my kink persona would be. It would be bratty, very, very bratty, spoiled, on the sub side. And I haven't quite figured out my dom persona, because I think I would be a switch. So the right person would get me as a submissive. Everyone else can get me as a dom, because the love of power and control is exciting for me. But we'll have another episode on submissive and dominant, because though I say control, I, as a dom, would not be the one in control. Well, I went to this workshop. Not only did I go on this workshop, but someone was in the hall, because there's loads of vendors. There was a vendor that was doing micro dosing mushrooms. They were like these little cubes, and you could try them.